cat's out of the bag.
Yes.
If they saw the title to this video,
That's right.
Another Round Greenville, South Carolina is happening.
Let's go.
A lot of conversations, a lot of work, a lot of stuff.
Almost a year in the making here, right?
Does it feel surreal to you? I mean, we're sitting in what will be the shop.
That's right.
That feels strange.
It does.
But just everything too. All right. What's it feel like to you?
It's exciting, nerve-wracking. But we're ready. Greenville's ready for it. I think this golf community here is ready for it, and I think it'll fit.
I probably get 10 franchise requests a week to my email.
Sure.
And a lot of them are like, some tiny town somewhere that it's just not going to work.
Right.
It's not going to be possible. The origin story of this one is definitely the most unique of any that we've done.
Yeah.
And tell it from your perspective, because we haven't talked about it really since.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Other than it's cool how it all happened.
Yeah.
Like, how did that come to be from your perspective?
So there was a guys disc golf weekend. All of us, there's a group of 8 of us that play all the courses around here, and we go around. I mean, we play probably maybe 3, 4, 5 times a week, maybe.
Heck yeah.
And we just decided, like, hey, let's take a destination trip and let's go to Charlotte and play all the courses up there, because Charlotte is, of course, one of the best destinations around. And it's an hour and a half up the street. We went to Scrapyard. Mm-hmm. And when we were there, we were like, oh, this is that hole that we're coming up on that's across the lake that we see that guy from Another Round always throwing on.
Yep.
And we're like, wouldn't that be crazy if he was here? We walk up to the tee pad, and there's one that's a little further back and one closer. And we walked up, and we were like, that's him.
Get up. Swing. Get up. Yeah.
We didn't know your name. We always called you Doug because it was Another Round DDG, and we just said Doug. We were like, Doug, and you were like, who? And so we were
Still my favorite nickname I've ever been given.
So we were like, hey, we're from Greenville, and you were like, hey, $50 to the shop if anybody aces it. And we were like, yeah, let's go. Nobody even came close. But then we went around and we got a picture. So we ended up playing and chatting, and
I think at some point we were talking about Greenville.
Yep.
One of you said, we really need another round in Greenville.
Yeah.
It's like, well, one of you guys need to open it. The wheels kind of started to turn, but not really. But then as we kept going through, the back 9, it got a little bit more and more real. It's weird that it's been a year.
Yeah. It'd be a year, and I think it was March.
So surreal.
Yep.
And now it's like, I feel like I've known you forever.
Yeah, and it was like, it would be a cool thing if this happened, but I mean, the guys that were there were, I think it was 5 of us out of the normal group of 8.
Yeah.
And we're all real estate agents, and we all, very established in our business and everything. So no one has the time to do this, but then it was like, what if we did though?
Why did you get so jazzed about this? What made you feel like this is the right thing?
I think it was because it's something new. It's something that I really love to do. And if I can do things that I love to do and also have a business out of it, that sounds great to me.
Super win-win. The reason I wanted to hang out with you guys and play that back 9 is because I love that friend group kind of energy. One of the first holes that we played together, one of your buddies hit first available super hard.
Sure.
And
happens often.
Everybody was silent, and then the chuckle started. That's what I want out of disc golf. That's what disc golf's always been to me. It's my brother and me, my dad, my son, my buddies. We all go out and play.
Yeah.
And we make fun of each other.
Yeah.
We laugh, and we take 2 off the first or 10 off the first if we have to. That's the kind of disc golf energy that I want.
Right.
So I think you guys are emblematic of what the disc golf culture is more broadly. We want to capture that energy as Another Round, and those are the people that we are serving.
Yeah.
You think about Greenville and you think about downtown, think about the river. Doesn't it just feel like it's such an area that's ripe for something like Another Round?
For sure. It's a small town feel, but it has enough big courses, a bunch of tournaments, and a bunch of good players and stuff that it can sustain a store like this too.
Where are we right now in Greenville? What area of town is this right now?
So we're on Lawrence Road, and we are close to everything that is downtown Greenville.
Put yourself 6 months from now, the store's open and it's a random Tuesday. What are you excited about for this?
So I haven't, the first time I played was maybe 10 years ago.
Okay.
And it was up at Century Park. with a buddy of mine, and we went and played there, and I thought it was fun and great, but nothing really stuck. But ended up just picking it up like a lot of people during COVID and really started going hard after it. And
there was a lot of free time.
There was a lot of free time and not a lot of time that you could spend indoors around other people.
Yeah.
And you saw a ton of new players coming through. And I think helping that new player, and having the knowledge and the expertise around the discs and being able to point them in the right direction, it's helping that player that gets me out of bed on a Tuesday.
To your point, there's so many COVID players that are still in that early phase where, when disc golf got fun for me, like really fun, I played with 1 or 2 discs for the first probably 6 years I played disc golf. And it was like my thing, right? I would go play leagues sometimes and I had a Champ Starfire and that's it. 1 disc. I putt with a Champ Starfire.
I had a Predator. Okay. That was my 1 disc.
So, and then, I can go back now and think that's what made me develop a good forehand, is that I had to throw that disc on every kind of shot shape. But when it really picked up for me is when there's a little ski shop in Charlotte that sold discs, a guy named Duffy Smith that ran it. And I would go in there and I would pick through discs and then I would go play and I'd be like, oh my God, the Comet. Are you serious? This is incredible. There's a ton of players that haven't yet gotten to that phase. They still just have, a Champ Beast that they bought at Dick's or one of the big box stores. You can't just have a conversation about disc golf with anybody. If you talk about basketball or you talk about NFL football, you can have a 2-hour conversation on an airplane and you've got shorthand with people. If you bring up disc golf, it's like frisbees. I don't know. But if you find a disc golfer, if you're on an airplane, you see somebody with a disc golf sticker on their water bottle, heck yeah, we can have a 6-hour flight.
That's right.
This is obviously a business that we're doing, but it really isn't. I want people to get into the buying phase of disc golf because I want them to, I'm going to buy a jet ski or something. They're toys. These things are toys. So when you get more fun toys, you can do different things. It's not a golf ball that you can only hit either a certain amount of loft, but it's a straight line pretty much. I think there's a ton of people that haven't yet figured that out yet. And the reason that we're so bullish on these brick and mortar stores, even in 2024 now, when everybody's going online and warehouse style and all that, it's because these are the places that we call them third places. It's not work, it's not home, it's this third place where people can gather. There can be community, people can get to know one another. Obviously, we've got a tap room, there's people having drinks, but it's the ability for people to fall in love with the game in this way, all these new brands and discs and things. It's a special thing. It really is cool.
So I'm a big hands-on guy. So in order for me to, understand something, whatever, I need to see it, I need to feel it, I need to touch it, and kind of feel that same way about discs. There's not a big, you go to Academy Sports, Walmart has a couple that you can touch, but other than that, it's like you on the internet saying that this disc is awesome and you should buy it. And so that's me going to your website or to Amazon, whoever's got it the cheapest, right?
Yeah, right.
And so you go over there and whichever color is the best and you're like, yeah, that looks great. And then you get it and you get it at home, it gets mailed to you, it might be bent, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Well, not from you guys, of course, because you, And then you feel it and you're like, maybe I should have done that other
something special about having it in person.
It is. And then to be able to come here and feel like different weights and stuff too, and actually feel it and touch it, and it's just, there's something different and kind of special about that too. And you feel better about spending your money on something that you can
actually feel and touch,
rather than some nebulous thing on the internet.
Yeah. There's also a special thing about being able to be in a place with a bunch of other disc golfers.
Right,
it's not Academy. It's not, some place where they're selling treadmills and baseball bats and every other thing. It's disc golf. Having the community element of it, having people that work here that are trained and that, because there's so many new brands, there's so many new discs, having somebody that's like, no, seriously, if you like a Thunderbird, you are going to really, really love this, whatever.
I've been to the shop in Charlotte, and what you guys have going on there is, it's what we want for here. I don't know if people watching this video have been to the one in Charlotte, but if you have and you like that vibe, this is this is the vibe that we're trying to emulate here.
It's the most special part to me about this, and even from my vantage point, where I've had my hands in all of these things and have helped start and push all of these things off. Even still, when I fly out to Denver and I leave Charlotte, let's say I'm in the store, in the office, and then I go get on an airplane and I fly to Denver and they're still open, and I walk from the Charlotte store into the Denver store and it feels the same.
Yeah.
It's different. They've got their own unique vibe. They've got their own kind of personality to it. But energy-wise, it just feels the same. It's the same kind of a thing, which is, is a really cool thing for me.
Yeah, and you had said something when we met, when we had met at Scrapyard, and then later on we were talking, and you said that it would be that you guys would be a good fit for the store, and because you said something along the lines of you guys are a group of guys that it seems like I want to go on vacation with.
Yeah, right.
And, that seemed like a huge compliment because, that's the kind of guys you want to be in business with, right? The guys that you can hang out with and see similar things in.
That's exactly right.
So that was a huge vote of confidence for me in this store.
Yeah, I say it a lot, but I mean it. Anybody that we do business with, even manufacturers and people that we're, in these partnerships with, if I wouldn't be willing to go on vacation with somebody, and that means have like a real intimate human to human kind of relationship with them, I'm out.
Yeah.
Another round could easily have 50 stores right now.
Sure.
But we didn't want to scale at that kind of pace. We wanted to really believe in every location. And there will be a time when things accelerate a little bit faster.
Sure.
But in these first 5-10 stores, it was so important that this is heart and soul is in it at every single one. Our model is that every store is owned 100% at the local level.
Yeah.
And that was so important to us because, we didn't want to be some corporate conglomerate that went and cookie cuttered all this stuff. All the processes, the name and the weight behind the brand and all that, of course, all that's helpful.
Right.
But we wanted each individual location to have its own kind of identity. A store in Greenville needs to be by and for Greenville. Has that been something that's kind of helped you see this place in a new light, or help spark ideas for you, knowing that there's not some rigid set of guidelines that has to stay within, but it can just be uniquely yours?
Yeah, because I am in real estate, as a day job before. Mm-hmm. I'm very familiar with this city and surrounding areas and everything too. And so the whole process of looking where would be the best place for a retail shop, and then, touring a bunch of those and opening up a bunch of doors and trying to figure out exactly where we want to be, but also kind of match the vibe that they have in Charlotte. And I've never been to the other stores other than Nashville. Yeah. And just kind of match that energy was a fun process, but you guys gave us all the autonomy to go and do it ourselves.
And that's so important to us, is that it can feel like your thing and also have all of the wind behind it of another round. Yep. And I know it's going to do really well. And I know that it's going to be a huge gift to the community, which that's the whole deal for us. We want another round to be the hub of everything disc golf related in an area.
Yep.
And we don't want to be a kind of business that extracts from a community, but that is giving, life-giving to a community. And that's what another round is. Yep. This is the kind of conversations, these kind of relationships that are being built in these little weird Frisbee stores. I'm excited, man.